Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to walk through the entire journey of taking a generative AI model and actually bringing it to life inside an application. We're going from a standalone model to, well, a fully functional piece of magic.
All right, so you've played around with these incredible AI models, right? But how do you actually go from that raw potential to building a real-world app? That's the big question, and it's exactly what we're going to break down today. Where do you even start?
First things first, before we build anything, we need a blueprint. We need to get our heads around the why. I mean, why can't you just use a model as it is? Well, the simple answer is, to get any value out of it, a model needs a way to talk to the rest of the world.
Think about it. A brilliant language model just sitting there on a server. It's kind of like having a Formula One engine without the car. It has all this incredible power, but it can't go anywhere or do anything useful on its own. It needs a chassis, it needs wheels, it needs a driver. It has to be integrated into an application.
So, how do we build that car? Well, the absolute key is something called an endpoint. You can think of it as a special dedicated address, a URL, that acts as the bridge connecting your app to the model's brain. It's basically the front door that your app is going to knock on to ask a question.
And the conversation that happens through that door, it's like a simple three-step dance. First, your app sends a request. Next, the endpoint hands that request over to the model to think about it. And finally, the model sends its answer right back. It's this clean little cycle: request, process, and response.
Okay, so now we've got our blueprint for how everything talks to each other. It's time to go shopping. We're headed to the marketplace, the model catalog, to pick out the perfect engine for our car, the absolute right tool for the job we want to do.
Your first big decision is all about size and power. Are you going to need a heavy-duty large language model, an LLM, for that deep, complex thinking? Or is a more nimble and cost-effective small language model, an SLM, a better fit for faster, everyday tasks? You know, it's like choosing between a giant semi-truck and a zippy sports car. Both super useful, but for very different jobs.
Next up, what's the actual job your tool needs to do? The options here are pretty amazing. You can grab models that are specialized for just having a conversation, others built for tough stuff like math and coding, multimodal models that can literally see and hear, or even specialized tools for creating images from scratch.
And the last big choice you'll make in this marketplace is about ownership. Proprietary models, like the ones from OpenAI, they often give you that cutting-edge performance with enterprise-level support. But on the other side, you've got open-source models, which give you incredible flexibility, control, and they're usually more cost-effective. You can tweak them to your heart's content.
All right, we've picked our model from the marketplace. Now it's time to head to the workshop. This is where we roll up our sleeves and set up the infrastructure, the environment where our model is actually going to live and run. So, if you're using a platform like Microsoft Foundry, you've got a few different workshop setups to choose from. They mainly differ in what models they support, where they're hosted, and, really importantly, how you get billed. It can be token-based, where you basically pay per word, or compute-based, where you pay for the horsepower you use. Honestly, for most situations, the standard deployment is a fantastic place to start. It just offers a great balance of everything. The workshop is all set up. The model is deployed, but any real builder will tell you the work has just begun. Now, we get to the really fun part. This is where we get to hone our craft and really optimize the model's performance.
And the single most powerful tool we have for that is something called prompt engineering. Put simply, it's the art and science of asking questions in just the right way, because the quality of what you put in directly, and I mean directly, shapes the quality of what the model gives you back.
Let's dive in with a classic technique, the persona pattern. We're about to see how simply telling the model who it should be can radically change how it responds.
So check this out. We start with a super generic request. Then we add what's called a system prompt. It's like a little note we pass the model beforehand that sets the stage. We're no longer just asking for a description, we're asking a seasoned marketing professional to write ad copy specifically for a technical audience.
And would you look at the difference? The before is this dry textbook definition, but the after? It's persuasive, it's targeted, it's actual marketing copy that speaks right to the audience we defined. It's the same model, but a totally different and way better result, all because we gave it a persona.
Okay, next up, let's talk about the formatting pattern. This one is all about getting structured, predictable output by giving the model a clear template to follow.
So with this one, the change is all about structure. We go from a simple question to a prompt that includes a really clear set of formatting instructions. See, we're not just asking what happened anymore.
We're telling the model exactly how we want that information presented.
And boom, the result is a total transformation. It goes from this messy block of text into a perfectly organized, easy-to-read report. This gives you, as the builder, so much control. It ensures the AI's output is going to fit perfectly into your app's design every single time.
Prompt engineering is, no doubt, incredibly powerful. But sometimes it's just not enough to get the kind of precision you need. And for those cases, it's time to bring in the master tools for optimization.
First up is a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The best way to think about RAG is that it's like giving your model a specific library of your own documents to read before it answers a question. Instead of just using its general knowledge, you connect it to your private data so it can give answers based on things only your company would know.
The second master tool is fine-tuning. Now, if RAG is like giving the model a library to read, then fine-tuning is like sending it to an apprenticeship. You actually train the model on a bunch of hand-picked examples, teaching it your specific style and tone until it consistently behaves exactly the way you want it to.
So here's the most important part. How do you choose between them? It's actually pretty simple. You use RAG when the model has a knowledge gap, when you need to give it more context to get accurate answers. And you use fine-tuning when the model has the information, but it isn't behaving correctly, when you need to shape its style and format to be more consistent. So one is for knowing, and the other is for doing.
And just like that, there you have it. You've gone through the entire builder's journey, from a simple blueprint all the way to a masterfully crafted, fully optimized tool. You get the why, the what, and the how. So the only question left, and it's the most exciting one of all, is what are you going to build?